Hey folks, welcome to Market Technical Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com for Tuesday, January 29th, 2008. Well, here we go. This is it. I feel like the music, the final countdown from the Rocky music should be playing in the background, as tomorrow at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time, the Federal Reserve releases their Fed funds rate decision to the whole market. Now, it's widely anticipated that it's going to be a 50 basis point cut, and if it is a 50 basis point cut, the market will react accordingly. Who knows? I would favor towards the upside or possibly a flat market. If anything less, watch out. We could see a major sell-off tomorrow afternoon. The Fed funds rate, a cut of 50 basis point in that Fed funds rate added to the 75 basis point cut, would be the largest cut between two meetings, including a meeting. So that meeting, from the last meeting to the intra-cut to this cut, ever. Alright, that's a sizable cut. It worries me intensely because of the bubble it's setting up for future generations, or even futures here just in a couple years, to probably come back and cause a new bubble of liquidity in somewhere else and possibly cause a new collapse. But you know, if you're looking at the near term, this is what the market needs. The market is kind of like a screaming kid asking for more and more and more, and the Fed has in the past and probably will in the future give in. So let's take a look at these charts and set ourselves up. And again, today we saw an upside bias to the markets, and you can see here that we saw some various movement up, down, and every which way. But for the most part, again, prior to the meeting, we saw a very tight range in the markets. Not a whole lot going on out there to look at. The markets were pretty much favoring the upside, but not very much today. And you can see here how we had a one dip here around 10 o'clock. But for the most part, we stayed in a triangular range, and we'll show you that here. Alright, and you can see right here, we'll draw the line underneath, and you can see the triangle formation right here. And from the upside as well, right alongside there. We did happen to break out of that triangle, but oftentimes, and triangles are not a great pattern in my opinion, you get a near-term breakout often, but as you see, it came right back inside that triangle after breaking out late in the day. So keep that in mind, folks. You can see we traded up here, down, up, down, and then broke out, and it looked like a breakout. But as I always say in the chat room, when you got a Fed rate decision looming, you can't expect a major breakout in the market or a breakdown. People are just going to position themselves in a kind of a safety sense and wait for the Fed decision tomorrow. Now, early on, folks, we did have durable goods orders at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time this morning, which came in above consensus estimates. And that was very bullish in the near term for the market, as the market was happy to see that. Also, consumer confidence came out at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and we saw a nice little push up in the markets off of those numbers. And that kind of gave us the positive bias for the rest of the day to just close slightly positive. Volume was extremely light. All right, I want to stress that, folks. As always before Fed meetings, volume is intensely light, and it was no different today. We'll show you the SPY here to give you a sense of that. And on the daily here, there you can see, look at that little volume. That's a full day right there. So you can see the last 3 days the volume has just dried up in this market as we've kind of consolidated here, going down Friday, up Monday, and kind of flat to up Tuesday as well. Volume will be light, extremely light tomorrow. It'll be a tough trading morning probably, but come the afternoon and that Fed funds rate decision, be ready for the market to fly one way or the other. As I always say, I never hold into earnings, and I never hold into a Fed funds decision. I always stay on the sidelines in cash waiting for that decision to happen, and then base my decisions after we know all the facts. As everyone knows, oftentimes the first move on the Fed is the wrong move. Maybe you get a spike up initially, but then you read into the statement and it's not as bullish or whatnot as you may like. So often be aware of that. There are lots of different ways. Last Fed cut, the surprise Fed cut, we didn't rally until the day after. In many situations, we actually retested the lows and then rallied the day after flushing everyone out. So we'll see. But on the upside, you can see we've had a nice move off the lows here now, and it is important for us to kind of keep that in mind, as a possible move up to this 20 moving average is not out of the question. At that point, you would look for a little push down off of that moving average, unless we rally huge on a surprise Fed rate cut in some way. Alright, so keep that in mind. On the SPY, this is the SPY daily we're looking at, which mirrors the S&P. And again, just to show you, you have these are the main moving average points. Okay, you're going to have resistance right here where I drew this line. You're going to have more resistance right around here. All right, more resistance at this point here, and obviously major resistance up here should we ever get up there. I don't think we will. I think it's going to be either this point here or maybe we get up to this area right here before the next leg down. And the next leg down should bring us to a double bottom area in this range here, if not breaking us even lower. A lot of financials have rallied very strong of late, and I do want to caution everyone about that. Let's take a look, for instance, at a few of these. MBI. All right, MBI on the daily. This might not look like a major rally, but this is almost 100% move here. You got down on MBI, and MBI is one of the reinsurers that was looking at bankruptcy. The MBI chart got as low as $6.75 and closed at $16 today. All right, and that right into that resistance area makes me very cautious. Now, it doesn't mean it can't go higher, but you just want to be aware that it's up 100% essentially, if not a little more, from the lows just a week ago. That's a big-time move. I mean, 100% any time of the day is a huge move. ABK, which is Ambac Financial, again, had a major move off the lows and was up $1.80 today. So again, these things are just moving dramatically to the upside. Now, it didn't reach its resistance point of the 20 moving average here, but in any case, you're talking about a stock that was as low as about $5 right around here, all right? And we'll actually make that about $7 here, and now is back to about $13 around there. So again, a major, almost 100% move right off the lows there, and that's a dramatic move. There's no doubt about that, so keep that in mind. So again, watch the Fed tomorrow. 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time is going to be the big tell. All right, now we do have a lot of other things going on this week. Tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning, there's plenty of economic data out. 2:15 the Fed comes out. After the bell, Amazon reports. Tomorrow, on Thursday, Google reports earnings. Now, Google will be tremendous for this market on the technology side. YHOO reported today after the bell, and I'll show you YHOO quickly here, and you can see here as I bring the level 2 into focus. You can see YHOO closed up 3 pennies at 20.81, and this was a spike up at the end of the day that closed it there, but now is trading down to 19. So YHOO's almost down $2 here after hours on earnings. Not a pretty sight again following VMware, which had earnings today, and look at this stock. And this was earnings were yesterday after the bell on VMW, which was a spin-off of EMC, a big cap, large cap technology stock, $30 billion market cap before today, and it dropped $28 to $55 here. So earnings on technology, these stocks continue to be punished quite relentlessly, and with Amazon tomorrow after the bell and Google on Thursday, things are going to be, without a doubt, continue volatile even after the Fed. So keep that in mind. All right. Let's flip back to the NASDAQ chart just to look at this quickly before we end the video today, as there isn't too much to report until after the Fed cut tomorrow. But again, you can see the NASDAQ did rally off the lows here and has moved up and pulled back on Friday, but continues to be up a little bit. As I said, the NASDAQ closed positive, up about 8 points today, and the whole market was up just slightly. It was a very small day, very slightly up, but nonetheless a positive day. Possible move up on the NASDAQ would be to this 20 moving average, should we have another push up. I think that the markets could be due for that. Whether or not they move up on the Fed, I don't know. But over the next couple weeks, it wouldn't shock me to see at least this 20 tested once, if not twice, and even a possible move slightly higher. Ultimately, I think within a month or so, we will be back to the lows. Personally, I'll be watching QID, and we'll see as it comes down. And QID is the 2-time short the NASDAQ, and you can see it was as high as 56 here, and is now retracing back down. When it gets down to this moving average, or maybe this one, the 50 right here, I will reconsider entering for another play to the upside there, as that is 2 times short the NASDAQ. Very risky, obviously, because it's 2 times. But I'll let you guys know as we go along with it, and obviously those in the chat room get the exact entries and so forth. Usually on these videos, I don't tell you till after the trade is completed what we did. Now let's talk a little bit about the chat room. Chat room today, you'd think that the market was quiet the way I describe it, right? But the solar stocks ran today phenomenally. So we did play some solar stocks. We were holding SOLF overnight, and SOLF gapped up here nicely. We sold right on that gap, and it did pull back. Then it started to run again. Also, we played in Sympathy, CSUN, on this nice move up here. A beautiful little move up was caught in the chat room as well. And YGE, another Chinese solar company, was also caught on this move up here. A beautiful day, especially the morning, just phenomenal morning for a slow market day in the chat room and day trading. And we continue to hammer out some solid plays even in the market conditions prior to the Fed. So I encourage everyone to come join. Feel free. It's an open forum with some great traders, and I tell you, everyone's contributing, and that's a beautiful thing. It's a big forum where everyone can just help everyone else out, and we see it with that many pairs of eyes looking at the markets. We see the market so much clearer, and we catch so many more things. Have a wonderful afternoon, folks. We'll see you tomorrow after the rate decision. Hold on to your hats. Take care.